is well with everyone today. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. We're going to get started with the topic for today. We're on a little later than I usually am on Mondays, but that's okay. That's okay. If you're watching this on YouTube as the replay after the fact, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and go follow me on TikTok where I go live, as well as follow my other socials, which are linked in my bio, okay? If you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist, also known as a plant-based naturopath on TikTok, just because I live a naturopathic lifestyle and I help other people be able to live that lifestyle as well. And so today we're going to be we're going to be talking about the link between your reproductive health as a woman and understanding insulin resistance and how to heal this naturally and to support your body naturally the way that you should be on a daily basis, that we are not taught from a very, very young age. And so, ladies here in the chat, if you are a woman who is always pushing for more career, family, personal growth, and you have put your health on the back burner on hold, listen up, this is for you, okay? Because I want to be able to support the women that are high achieving, that do day in and day out, and need that support with their own health and their own body every single day. So if you're dealing with painful menstrual cycles, PCOS, if you're dealing with endometriosis, if you're dealing with fibroids, bloating, having struggles with weight management, weight gain, weight fluctuation, just overall feeling fatigued all the time and you're not understanding why you have no energy, this live is going to help you and support you in understanding, first of all, that's not normal. And second of all, getting to the root cause of why you're suffering from these, what is going on inside of your body, what you need to start doing to help yourself change, how we get to the space of healing. Because too many people are sitting out here not helping their body heal, but instead we're sitting here managing these issues, helping manage the disease in our body, which managing is keeping it alive. I've said this many times, okay? And so we don't want to keep it alive. We want to get rid of it. We want to diminish it. But we have to figure out, first of all, what started it. What's the root cause? How do we get here? And so it's deeper than just thinking like, oh, it's a metabolic disorder or it's an inflammatory issue, but rather it's not something that you have to be stuck in this specific category, because it's really overall fixable. And it's really, when you look at it in a total entirety, it's more than just, oh, I have this, but it's rather what foods you're eating, what products you're using, what's your lifestyle currently when it comes to you being active and moving and getting up and using and supporting your body so it's flowing. Okay, you do not have to live like this, and you don't have to keep suffering through the symptoms that you're having, because these are symptoms to show you that you are on a path of developing diabetes, you're on a path of having reproductive issues or having infertility issues later on. And so if you're already currently suffering, these are signs to let you know that you have been struggling for years on end. By the end of this live, you are going to be able to walk away with not only clarity of understanding what is going on inside of your body and clarity of working through what is happening inside of your body by getting to the root cause, but also, most importantly, understanding how to make all of this effort that you are putting in work for you instead of against you during your health journey. Because so many people are sitting here struggling with the issue of their body is working against them, their time is working against them, their lifestyle is working against them. And so you have to get into the space of being comfortable and strategically moving towards your health goals through your health journey, okay? And so I'm going to be able to help you high achieving women that are here in the chat right now, be able to reclaim your health and understand how to do this for you and to support yourself so that you finally have that balance of your hormones that you've been looking for. So if you are new here and you do not know who I am, please drop a heart in the chat. Let me know if I'm on the FYP for you. If this is something that you are struggling with, drop a heart in the comments and let me know that you were here, that you were active, that you were ready, so that we can start getting on the topic of stepping into a healthier you, stepping into the health journey that you deserve, understanding how to be more energetic, and learning what you truly need to learn when it comes to the space of taking care of your reproductive health as a woman. So drop your hearts in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tapping up the live. I accept that too. Tap the live, drop some hearts in the chat. Let me know that you're ready. Let me know that you are excited for this topic. If you are a high achieving woman that you know that needs support in this mix of all the chaos that we have going on, there's an epidemic against our health. There's an epidemic going on when it comes to our health and our hormone, especially as a woman and in men. But we're talking about women here, okay? Because I'm a woman. I can speak from women's hormones from my own experience as well as the work that I do. we're in a hormonally chaotic space as women, and we're struggling more than ever than we've ever seen in our history when it comes to women's health, supporting ourselves with PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, having cysts. And we're not realizing that the numbers are jumping higher and higher. We see the statistics and we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, my mom has that, my grandma has that, yeah, my aunt does. But we aren't putting two and two together, the fact that it's deeper than just, oh, she has it and he has it. I mean, she has it and she's suffering, but rather it's millions of women dealing with the same issue. And so at what point are we going to sit back and realize, what are we all doing collectively as a whole that is keeping millions of women in the same path, when years ago millions of women weren't dealing with these same issues that we're currently dealing with and that are on the rise? The reason why we're in an epidemic. When you look at PCOS and you count 10 women that are in their peak of reproductive health, okay, about out of those 10 women, one of them is going to have PCOS. They're going to be affected by PCOS. So you're counting 10 women that are in their peak reproductive health, supposed to be in their peak reproductive health, okay? So that's about 78% of women that are undiagnosed that have PCOS. Because majority of women go undiagnosed, and we don't realize this until we get to the point where we're to the point of having to have a surgery, to the point of thinking the birth control is the only option. We're sitting here believing that we have to put some type of momentary band-aid in order for us to live our life and to keep doing what we're doing, to keep being a high achieving, a high earning woman, okay? And we don't have to do that. Realize the fact that fibroids affect about 20 to 25% of women, more like going up to about to be around like 30%, okay? And these women are in their peak reproductive ages. And so you're looking and you're seeing now, when you look at statistics, that it's skyrocketing. It's projecting by the time that we are going to hit the age of 50, that it's going to be around 70 to 80% of women dealing with fibroids. So right now, you're in your peak reproductive age. If you are thinking about the fact that by the time that you were 50 years old, about 70 to 80% of women are going to be dealing with fibroids, is an insane statistic to sit back and to just go on about your business like, well, it's something we have to deal with. Why? Why are women sitting here dealing with endometriosis and it's impacting literally 190 million females on this earth, and we're not sitting here taking that statistic and going, that's a problem? Why are that many women dealing with endo? It takes about 7 to 10 years on a scale of what's normal to be diagnosed with endo. Women sit here between 7 to 10 years not knowing what's going on with their body, having plenty of symptoms and signs to let them know that they are on a path of having hormone imbalance, or they're struggling with a hormone imbalance. And then after 7 to 10 years of them not dealing with it, figuring out what's going on, doctors not figuring out what's going on, then they're diagnosed with endometriosis. That's 7 to 10 years of your life that, one, you'll never get back, and two, you have been sitting here struggling with hormonal imbalances and throwing off your body for 7 to 10 years. Women with PCOS are more likely, 4 times more likely to develop diabetes. Infertility rates are climbing. We're sitting here dealing with all these hormonal imbalances, and this is the major key factor of why we're having all of these different issues as a woman when it comes to regulated cycles, when it comes to PMS, when it comes to us and our weight fluctuations and weight imbalances. So it's not normal. This is not genetics. It's not just sitting here like, oh, this is something we have to deal with. It's a crisis. It's a problem. And it's driven by insulin resistance, it's driven by inflammation, and it's driven by your hormonal dysfunction that you're not dealing with. In order for you to sit here and to realize that it's time for you to stop taking care of any and everybody else and start taking care of yourself, because your health should not be put on the back burner when you're not at peak health. When honestly, it shouldn't be put on back burner regardless, but when your health is already in the toilet, you should not be focusing on anybody else's health, anybody else's mood, anybody else's feelings, until you figure out, what are you feeling? What are you doing? How are you harming your body? What ways are you leading yourself down a hormonal imbalance path? What was the root cause of your hormone imbalance? I can tell you now, as somebody who has been in this space that was dealing with hormonal imbalances before, I can guarantee you probably have no answers to any of those. The root cause is the first thing you need to figure out. Are you dealing with PMS? Are you dealing with irregular cycles? Are you dealing with weight fluctuation? What is going on right now currently with you? What are you suffering from? If you cannot pinpoint what signs are showing, if you cannot pinpoint what's the root cause of your issue, if you cannot pinpoint what foods you eat, the products that you use that cause hormonal imbalances, you're not doing enough reflection on your life, as well as the fact that you don't have enough education in that space. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. It's a matter of understanding the fact that we are not taught these things. And so since we're not taught these things normally through the systems that we are brought up we need to go against that and start to learn that this is how you teach yourself how to heal. This is how you start supporting your body from a very young age so that you can raise the next generation to learn how. I don't know what in the world kind of profile picture. That's obviously, I don't know what kind of experience they have in life, but that poor account in their profile picture looks a mess. So let me just go on ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and mute them. There we go, so they can look but not touch because they need to get up out of here. But if you want to sit here and listen to women's health when you have that profile picture, go on ahead. I see the grateful one said that she's struggling with hormonal imbalances. If you stay tuned to the rest of this live, you will know what I suggest and how we start healing and supporting our body. You're dealing with fibroids, so this live is going to support you, and we'll get to the root cause we'll get to the root of how do we start helping ourselves heal. But first, we have to understand what is going on. We have to get down to the root cause by breaking it down and understanding how we are impacting our body and wreaking havoc on our body. So let's talk about the science behind it. Let's talk about how insulin resistance is wrecking and wreaking havoc on our health and our reproductive health, okay? Specifically. So many people don't really understand the breakdown of what insulin resistance is. So let's talk about what is insulin resistance. What's going on? Thank you for the shares and likes, guys. I really appreciate it. Insulin resistance is when insulin inside of your body. So when you eat, you have this sugar, right? It's supposed to be sitting here turned into the form of insulin naturally by your body. Your body naturally produces its own insulin. Okay. But this is when you have insulin resistance, the cells inside the body stop responding to insulin naturally. So then your organs are working overtime. You're overcompensating because maybe let's say you ate some processed sugar, which cannot be converted into energy. So now your body's going, I can't do anything with this. What am I supposed to do? And so it sits there and goes, well, I know I'm going to give it to the pancreas. I'm going to give it to the liver. I'm going to give it to the kidneys. We're going to figure it out. Okay. All these systems that are supposed to be working together to give you insulin and naturally produce insulin, supposed to be supporting your system of detoxing, right? And then also keeping your blood filtered and safe. All of them are working overtime every single day because you throw off your balance because you have no stabilizers in the food that you eat. You eat terrible toxic processed sugars that throw off your balance and make you inflamed. You also sit here and you don't regulate yourself with the foods that you eat. You eat too much meat. You consume dairy. You consume all these different things that throw off your balance, right? And so instead of this glucose used for energy, it's now sitting here trapped inside of your bloodstream. And so this is going to cause you to have high blood sugar and cravings, tons of cravings. This is the reason why after you eat a whole bunch of sugar, you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I need more sugar or I need a nap when you eat a whole bunch of food. It's because you have that peak of your blood sugar and then it drops down really, really low because your liver is sitting here detoxifying and your pancreas is sitting here compensating for all the fake sugar that it gave it. And it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, right? So then now you're having an excess fat storage around the belly because your liver is saying, well, I have nowhere else to put this. I can't detoxify it. You have all this sugar that's produced by the pancreas. So then it's sitting here going, oh, I'm just going to put it in a fat pocket and maybe we can use it later, right? Maybe they'll detox and then we'll get rid of it later. Because that's what you're supposed to be doing. If you have fat pockets, you're supposed to be detoxing to help your body detox itself naturally. But too many of us follow diet culture, which does not help us detox, but in return actually makes us more inflammatory because it's an imbalance of habits. Oh, I'm going to eat right today. I'm going to sit here and eat a salad today. And then boom, tomorrow or the next day or a week later, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go back to my old habits because I didn't establish new ones. All I did was do momentary things to help my health. Eat a salad, restrict carbs, sit here and not eat sugar for a whole entire week knowing that I'm a sugar addict. And so then when I go back, I'm going to eat an overload of carbs, an overload of sugar. I'm not going to eat any stabilizers in my food. And so then I go back to eating meat and dairy on top of carbs and sugar. And now my body's going back to the chaotic state that I was. So 1 minute it had a little bit of peace, and now you're back to your old habits, which has made it peak into fight or flight mode because you were supporting it 1 minute and it thought it finally had a break. And then you were like, oh no, just kidding, the diet's over. And now your body's panicking again because it's like, oh no, we're going back to the same space. And a lot of people don't realize this is the reason why when y'all do this Jenny Craig, you do your Weight Watchers, you do your keto and your paleo, how you lose a whole bunch of weight and you feel good, and then you go back, you gain that weight back, and then you gain more. It's not because of, oh, it didn't work, and it didn't work, it didn't. Let me rephrase that. It's not because of like, oh, I'm eating worse and my habits are worse. It's because it didn't work because you didn't change your habits, and then your body went into panic mode. You have to completely change your lifestyle and reestablish the habits that are keeping you toxic, to move away from those, to establish new habits, reparent the habits that you need to support you. Understanding that when you stay in this space of high blood sugar, your glucose is not turning into energy, it's going to make hormonal chaos happen inside of your body. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. So this is going to cause irregular cycles. It's going to cause PMS. It's going to cause you to be infertile. And we're looking at an epidemic of women that are dealing with infertility issues right now currently. If you don't know this, or if you feel like this is something that is not going to affect you, it is. And let me tell you how it's going to affect you one way specifically that too many people are not realizing. Do you eat soy? As a woman and a man, because regardless of who you are, do you eat soy? If you still consume soy and you think that soy is safe, I can tell you now that you are not aware of the agenda that's against your health. And I'm talking about soy-based products. I'm not talking about like, oh, it's just a little bit of soy in this, because sometimes sauces have soy in them. That's my little give. If I know that a sauce, like a Caesar salad, if I want a vegan, because I'm plant-based, okay? I want a vegan Caesar salad. I know that it might have a little soy in it. I'm not going to sit here and completely flip out and be like, I can't ever eat a Caesar salad again. I'm going to try to make it on my own. But if I'm out and about and they're just like, oh, it's just in the sauce, I'm not going to completely flip. But I'm not eating tofu. I'm not sitting here making soy-based meats. I'm not sitting here eating Beyond Meat. I'm not sitting here eating Impossible Meat. And do you understand why? Because I've done research into this. I know the ingredients. I understand what soy does to the body. I know what times I can eat soy versus times I cannot eat soy, and nobody should be eating soy. I understand how to detox my body effectively. So when I do get that little micro mini amount of soy compared to what everybody else gets, I can detox that easily. People eat soy every single day, all day. And how I can tell you this, do you look at your ice cream and your ingredients when you consume ice cream? Dairy or non-dairy? Do you look at your ingredients when you eat your processed sugar, your processed snacks? Do you look at your ingredients when you eat yogurts? Do you know your ingredients inside the milk that you consume if it is dairy milk? Do you know the ingredients inside of these different meats? Because meat has ingredients besides it just, oh, it's chicken and beef. They add preservatives in there. So this is what I mean by the fact that you're not really aware of what you're consuming. And back on the topic of soy throws off your hormone balance. So if you are already struggling with these issues that we list before of stabilizing your blood sugar, helping your hormones be balanced, you should not be consuming soy. I only introduced soy back into my life, sort of, like I said, kind of, because it's usually only in sauces that I eat. I don't eat anything that's completely soy based. I only started introducing that back in once I balanced my menstrual cycle. And do you understand why? Because soy throws off your hormone balance. Soy plants have their own phytoestrogens, okay? And there is research on this. If you've looked at the old articles where they say that it doesn't affect the body, look outside the US, look into other areas of the earth around the world who actually care about the people that live there and actually do research to help rather than research to prove themselves right. Because that's what America does. America sits there and does their research, their little programs and all the other stuff to prove what's right of what they've already done to poison us. But aspects around the world like China, even parts of Europe and the UK, they do research to make sure that they have the top health. That's the reason why we're the worst health in the earth. There's the reason why we have the worst health statistics. The reason why they have the best in India and China. Because you look at them and you look, China is kind of bad on the diabetes spectrum, but the rest of it, okay? Honestly, not even China. I'm not going to say China. Let's just talk about India. I'm going to scratch China. Look at how they do research and how they base, in Europe too, how they base their research on the fact that, oh, this is harming people. This is not helping them. Look at how Europe banned all dyes. Look how India, how they eat and how they have the lowest amount of diseases. America just does their studies to prove themselves right, to make themselves back the FDA and back these other people, back the peoples. I'm not going to say the names because I don't want my life taken. But the point is, they give you soy in a bunch of your foods because I think Europe, I don't know about India, but I know Europe for sure. Europe has banned a lot of soy in their food. They have stopped putting so much soy in their food. We are the main soy producers, and we get soy that has phytoestrogens inside of it. And on top of that, it's It's not non-GMO. It's GMO. Okay, because all soy crops are GMO that are produced that are from the US, in the US, okay? Even though if they say, oh, it's non-GMO soy because I got this non-GMO soy, over 95% of soy that is sent to the US or produced in the US is genetically modified because it makes it easier for them to be able to keep the crop alive, as well as it's easier for them to give it and put it on your shelf and to make it stabilized, okay? They have to genetically modify it. It has phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are different than the natural estrogen that produces in your body. I was once an estrogen dominant person, so this is the reason why I got into this research and started to understand why I was so estrogen dominant. They put so much soy in our food. Estrogen dominance inside of men and women is not healthy. But specifically in women, it's going to throw off your menstrual cycle, okay? It's going to make you have PMS symptoms. It's going to make you have a painful menstrual cycle. Because during the times that you can eat soy, and I say this sparingly, but I want you to understand, I have balanced my life. You should not be doing this if you have not balanced your life. It's because I know when my peak estrogen times are and when my estrogen is the lowest. I know when it's the most balanced. So then I know when I can consume it and it doesn't throw off the complete system. I'm not sitting here right before my menstrual cycle and deciding that I'm going to eat a bunch of soy, because that is when your hormones are completely imbalanced. But you have to learn how to eat according to your cycle. Eat during the different phases of your cycle. And if you don't even know the different phases of your cycle, then you are not, one, going to be supporting your hormonal balance, let alone eating correctly during the times of the month that you're supposed to be eating certain things, detoxing at a certain time, cleansing at a certain time. So you have to be released from the hold of just thinking that you can function like a man and just go day by day and not really function according to your body, because you can't. We look at the statistics and we see our bodies and the numbers are saying we can't keep doing this. The medical industry is literally based off of the man's health, based off of what they know about the man's body, and put it towards the women. When are we going to sit back and realize that we're not a man? We can't function like a man. Our body doesn't operate like a man. We don't have the same systems and functions as our systems as a man. So you sitting here and being in this hormonal chaos is going to keep you ill. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you sit here and go against your body in every aspect. And then you're going to wonder why your body is turned on you. You're wondering why you have PMS. You're sitting here wondering why your cycle's irregular. You're thinking that, oh, I just need to take a birth control and fix it. Oh, I need a hysterectomy. Oh, I have a fibroid. Let me go get a surgery. What have you done that has led you here? Because like I talked about earlier about the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys, and the gut, you're not understanding what's really happening inside of your body. So we have to break down what is going on inside the body. So I want to reiterate one more time each aspect of the body that is being affected. Because too many people sit here and they love to talk about how they understand what's going on. They know how to eat healthy. They know how to do this. But then when I ask, okay, what is healthy to you? What do you think your health is surrounded on? They're like, oh, it's my diet. I should be doing this as a diet. I should be eating this way. And I'm like, see, you don't know, because that's the first thing that's how my telltale sign to let me know if somebody knows how to take care of their body or not. Do you believe in diet culture? As soon as somebody says the word diet, I know you don't know how to eat according to your cycle. You don't know how to function as a woman according to what you're supposed to be doing for yourself to support your body, because no diet supports you. You start supporting your body with real whole foods. But first we have to understand what's going on inside the body so we can start healing every aspect, not just one specific thing of thinking like, okay, I'm going to heal my hormones by eating this food. You have to completely detox, reset, and start allowing your body to heal itself naturally by the habits that you have, by the products that you use, by the foods that you eat. But you have to start understanding first, gain that consciousness of what's going on. So then you can make those conscious choices. So then it becomes subconscious thoughts. You can't sit here and do a quick, fast bypass of all the information that you need and expect you to learn how to heal and then teach your future generations, teach the people in your family, the women specifically in your family, because we're talking to the women today. Because we should be able, as a collectively, as a whole, as women, especially how catering and nurturing we are, to be able to support the next woman in understanding what's going on in their body. So the next time somebody is sitting there, not saying you force it upon them, but if they're sitting there like, I genuinely don't know what to do and I want to be supported, I think I should take birth control, you should be able to look at them and say, do you understand that birth control completely disrupts your hormones? And not only is it going to disrupt your hormones, but it's going to cause you to have reproductive issues later on. You shouldn't be taking birth control. What you should be doing is eating real whole foods. Try a plant-based lifestyle. Start understanding what toxic products you have in your home. Get rid of bleach. Get rid of Lysol. Because these things store inside of you. And I'm going to break down how in just a second. Because we're going to talk about the liver first. So let's talk about the liver and what's going on. So the liver is your body's organ that detoxes itself. It detoxes the body. It detoxes because the organ is yourself. So it detoxes itself. But high insulin and processed foods that overload it is going to lead you to having a fatty liver. It's going to cause you to have estrogen dominance, and you're going to have an overloaded inflammation. You also have to look at the fact that if you're using these chemical products like I just listed, they are storing inside of your liver because these are endocrine disruptors. Just because you smell it and it goes in and you're thinking like, okay, I can't smell it anymore, it's good. You know what happens when you walk into a space that's been heavily bleached. It's like a whiff, right? But then you go nose blind. That does not go away. You are still absorbing that chemical through your nostrils, as well as when it comes in contact with your skin. Anything that comes in contact with your skin is absorbed within 24 seconds of contact. It goes directly to your liver because that is your detoxification function, right? And so think about how many times you clean. Let's say you do a deep clean once a month, and so you use a whole bunch of bleach, you spray your house with Lysol on the regular at least once a week. Think about how much your liver is having to do outside of natural toxins that are on the earth that your body has no issue filtering. But then you add in all these toxins with the products that you use. You add in toxins with the foods that you eat because you don't even know how to read your labels, as well as the fact that let's say that you use perfume. So then you use perfume. You spray this on your pressure points. You spray this on your parts that are supposed to, pheromones. It's supposed to help elevate those pheromones, your natural essence, right? But you don't realize that perfume and fragrance has a bunch of chemicals. And I literally just posted a little clip of my last live talking about this, so I'm not going to go deep into it. That live is posted on YouTube. But I think it's premiering tomorrow, actually. So it's premiering on YouTube this week. But you have to understand that we are taught to disrupt our hormones in every way, shape, or form. There's a reason why it's called fragrance and perfume and not listed as, a citric whatever. Because legally, by the government's backing, they have to label it as a fragrance or a perfume, but they don't have to tell you what's in it. And it's literally hundreds of thousands of chemicals. And you're spraying this on your most absorbed organ as well as your pressure points. This is literally where your vein is for you to be able to tell if you're alive, if you pass out. If somebody's like, oh, let me check her heart, let me check her pulse. You're putting this on your pulse points. And it's getting absorbed directly into your bloodstream. And then we sit here and wonder why our menstrual cycle, the part that we literally are bleeding, the time that we're bleeding, we wonder why it's painful. Make the connections, like really sit there and break it down for yourself. Make the connection in your brain. You're putting this into your bloodstream, and then we wonder why our time of bleeding is so painful. We wonder why we're clotting. We wonder why it's in excess. Connect the dots. Thank you for the follow. And so when your liver is not functioning and clearing out and has an excess overload, you're going to have an excess overload of estrogen. You're going to worsen PCOS if you're dealing with it, or fibroids. You're going to worsen your endometriosis. It's going to make all of this thrive in the space that you're in because you have an overload of inflammation, because this is your body's response to tell you, hey, I'm panicking and I don't know what to do. Inflammation is a sign in your body that you have an overload of toxins. So when you're having knee pain, back pain, hip pain during menstrual cycle and before, after, during the entire month in general, when you're sitting there dealing with, let's say you have hormonal acne, let's say when you're dealing with the different issues of PMS, dealing with mental fog, fatigue, You're sitting here dealing with all these issues of anxiety and depression. These are signs that you have an overloaded inflammation, and people aren't realizing that. They sit there and love to talk about mental health, and we talk about that, but we don't even tie it to the fact that if your brain is off, your gut is going to be off. If your gut is off, your brain is going to be off as well. There are two things that go hand in hand inside of your organ function. And reason why is because your gut is literally nicknamed in science your second brain. When you overload it with sugar, processed foods, antibiotics, these destroy your good gut bacteria. And I'm not talking about natural antibiotics that come from fruits. I'm talking about antibiotics like you go to the doctor, they tell you, you have to take this antibiotic for 10 to 12 days. But you can't eat pineapple during that time because it counteracts with your antibiotic that we're giving you that's full of chemicals. This is going to lead you to having chronic bloating, constipation, increased inflammation, pain, immune dysfunction. It's going to cause you to have worsened mood, anxiety, depression, because like I said, if your gut is off, it's going to throw your brain off and your brain's balances. So if your gut is inflamed, your hormones will completely be out of balance, and your brain can't do anything to help all the other functions of your liver, your pancreas, and your kidney be supported during this time because it's in panic mode. It's in fight or flight mode, and it's trying to keep you alive day to day, okay? And so when you look at the fact that, okay, so the liver is being overloaded, the gut is not balanced, and then on top of that, the pancreas is working overtime because the pancreas is what pumps out the insulin, okay? It's supposed to be working normally with the foods that you eat because you're supposed to be getting natural sugars in your body that gives you that natural insulin production that helps your body be able to help and keep that blood sugar balance. But instead, you're pumping out too much insulin, trying to overcompensate for the high blood sugar. It's trying to overcompensate, and so with that overcompensation is going to cause your pancreas to work overtime, and then this constant strain is going to cause you to have that fatigue, those crashes. It's going to cause you to have those energy dips. It's going to cause you to have an increased risk of diabetes. You are so welcome, Sonny. Of course, I will share this information because it was given to me by the Most High. Why would I not share with others? And then on top of all the damage that you're doing to your pancreas and your liver, your kidneys are being damaged because, like I said, all of this is leaking into your bloodstream, and your blood is literally how you live. And so you increase, or when your insulin resistance increases, it's going to increase the damage happening to your kidneys functions. And so this increase is going to risk you to having high blood pressure. It's going to cause you to have water retention. It's going to cause you to have inflammation. And you're not getting hydration on a cellular level when you're having all this water retention. It's holding all this water weight and the overloaded inflammation. And your cells need two things to stay out of a cancerous state that people are not realizing. And they're sitting there thinking, because I was listening during 2020, during the time that they were telling us all these little tips of what they thought that they could do to help us or whatever. I thought it was very funny. They were talking about how when your oxygen gets to a certain level, you should be worried about having the situation that we were having in 2020, right? But they're not telling you, in the same breath that they told you the information, they're not telling you that, do you realize that all diseases and illnesses cannot thrive in an oxygenated, hydrated space? So especially cancer cannot thrive in a highly hydrated, highly oxygenated state. So when your oxygen is on a terrible all-time crash low, as well as the fact that you're not hydrated to a cellular level, then cancer is going to thrive in that space, and this is how you develop tumors. This is how the tumors develop to the point where they thrive and turn into cancer. Because you have to sit there and hydrate yourself on a cellular level. And how you get hydration on a cellular level is fruits and vegetables. How you get oxygen on a cellular level, if you're not getting enough, is fruits and vegetables. Well, fruits specifically are going to hydrate you and give you oxygen. And the reason why is because they produce their own natural nutrients outside of what they just tell you of just, oh, you get vitamin A with this, or you get vitamin C with this, or you get vitamin D, which they love to break it down in categories and act like that you only get one if you do this, and you only eat one if you eat this. But they're not telling you that each fruit and vegetable has a plethora of different nutrients in it. And each fruit is going to give you oxygen and hydration on a cellular level that too many people are looking for but not finding, because people are drinking a whole bunch of water. If you are drinking water, I know the people who drink a bunch of water and they're like, I do work out, and that does give you oxygen to a cellular level. But if you're not a heavy workout person and you know that you don't really like drinking water, why are you not eating your water? Why are you not eating your oxygen? You still have to do the two things that I listed before. But if you're struggling in those aspects and you want to support yourself on top of the fact that, like, okay, I want to do a little bit of movement just to help myself flow, but I don't want to overexert myself. I haven't been doing this for a while. I don't like drinking that much water. I don't like going back and forth to the bathroom that way. Why are you not eating your water? Why are you not eating your oxygen? We are not aware of the disadvantage that we're doing to our body by living in this culture of fast food, fast restaurant food. Us sitting here thinking that, oh, I'm too overwhelmed, I can't eat this. Oh, this is not going to give me enough nutrients. I'm going to be hungry after I eat this bowl of fruits. The only reason why that you are in this space of thinking that it's not going to support you living a plant-based lifestyle is because you have been trained into believing that you have to have meat and you have to have dairy. That food pyramid that y'all heavily rely on, even though in your brain you're not thinking, oh, it's the food pyramid, but your actions show that you heavily rely on it, is because you were trained, just like you were trained to believe and to remember the ABCs. Because at the end of the day, the ABCs can be in any order. We train a child to learn the ABCs in order to make sure that they don't skip it, to make sure they don't miss anything, and they understand the aspect of the alphabet, right? There is no actual method to the madness of the order. So we train that food pyramid, and now the My Plate, because we have the My Plate as well, just like we train the ABCs. So why can't you untrain, or at least focus in on learning new aspects of how to heal if you know that this is not supporting you? They revamped the food pyramid. They just made the My Plate some years ago. So if they don't even know how to have a definitive answer to the problem that we're having as a society when it comes to our health, why are you really heavily believing in what they teach you? Why are you really depending on a system that is programmed to keep you sick, programmed to keep you a customer for the pharmaceutical company? And still believing in them because they're the ones who backed all of this. They're the ones who backed you consuming dairy 2 times a day and giving your child 2 sources of dairy at least a day. And they're the same ones that are promoting all this inflammation thriving inside of your body. All they do is feed you inflammatory habits. And then when somebody brings up the fact that, oh, you don't have to eat that, you want to argue like you're a nutritionist now. Like, that really kills me and it kicks me. And I'm going to get back on topic after this. The only people that I know that argue about you don't get this or you don't get this are the people that eat meat and dairy that aren't actually aware of their health and don't do any research outside of the program that they had with the food pyramid and the My Plate. They do no research, let alone do they know anything about living a plant-based lifestyle, and yet they are the one who is so heavily experts based on you have to have meat for you to get protein. This is a healthy fat. This is how you get it. And so I'm sitting here and I look and observe, and all the same people that are talking the same way are talking about how they're having a number of issues of their high blood pressure, mental issues. They're having different issues with inflammation. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so you're the one that's promoting these issues to me, promoting me to eat meat and dairy because I'm not getting what I need for my body, right? But I'm not dealing with the issues that I was dealing with before when I ate meat. I was a meat eater. I loved dairy. I literally was addicted to dairy. And the only reason why a majority of society is addicted to dairy is because they put addictive chemicals in it, by the way. So it's not really the fact that you really, really love dairy so much, even though it does taste good. The only reason why you can't imagine getting away from dairy like I was is because they put addictive chemicals in your dairy, which also throws off your hormones, okay? So the only people that I know that rebuttal with me about, oh, you're not getting protein, you're not going to get your B12, are the same people that are stuck in this space of poisoning themselves with the foods they eat. Because I was a meat eater. I ate dairy before, and my menstrual cycle was off. I was overinflamed. I was having all these panic attacks, anxious, depressed. I'm sitting here dealing with a number of issues when it came to my health. Overall, I was wearing a knee brace on each knee in 5th grade because my knee pain was that bad when I did activities. I developed asthma in high school. So I'm not speaking as somebody who is just like, oh, I changed my lifestyle and let me just help you change your lifestyle. I'm speaking as somebody who changed my lifestyle to better my life, that was looking for a change and didn't understand what I needed. And I asked the Most High himself, what do I need and how do I start helping myself? Because I shouldn't be suffering at the ripe age of like 10. I think when you're in 5th grade, you're like 10 years old. I was suffering at 10 years old for an overload of inflammation. I was overweight in 5th grade, completely overweight. And yet I was an active child. I was skinny up until the time that I started to hit that age where puberty started to hit me. And guess what? It's because I had an overload of inflammation, an overload of toxins, and nobody taught me as a woman how to eat according to my cycle and how I'm supposed to support myself, instead of just sitting here thinking that, oh, I'm craving sugar, so let me eat sugar all the time. So starting to heal without medications, without birth control, because I tried it. I tried birth control. I was taking the medications. I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be able to help me heal, and it didn't. Learning how to naturally help myself heal allowed me to get away from Western medicine and realize that you have been programmed, and not only programmed, but you were sitting here thrown off chemically to the point where you cannot get your brain wrapped around the fact that natural healing comes from you eating and using food as medicine and eating fruits and vegetables. This allows your body to flush. This allows your body to reset itself. And you don't have to sit here and suffer and think that like, oh, I can't eat the foods that I loved before. Healing starts with food. You have to stop eating foods that make you inflamed. Stop fueling the hormone chaos. Refined sugar, dairy, processed carbs, seed oils, inflammatory meat, because all meat is inflammatory. Even that salmon that we love to eat so much. Because that's how I went from eating meat to winging myself off. I went to salmon finally. But that stuff is putting microplastics, a bunch of toxic chemicals inside of your body. So you thinking that this is the healthy alternative to all the other meat, it's not really. Like, all meat has an inflammatory aspect to it, regardless of what kind of meat you're eating. People love to sit here, because I've had people come in here before and usually they get blocked by the end, because I'm not going to argue with you. I just state the facts. If you want to look it up, great. If you want to argue, get out of my face. You pride yourself on getting these grass-fed, free-range eggs, grass-fed beef, grass-fed cows, grass-fed chickens, but y'all don't realize that cows are not supposed to be free-range, only grass-fed. Cows used to thrive in a forest space before we started to cultivate them and put them on farms inside of this just acres of grassland and no forest. They used to live in the forest and forage off of mushrooms and berries and other things. Same thing with pigs. I don't really know much about chickens. I'm not really a big fan of birds, so I don't really look up them, because in the end I want to have like a farm, more modern kind of homestead kind of situation. So I'm really into looking up these type of things and learning about them, okay? And so we don't realize the natural process, and cows have not adapted to the lifestyle that we put them in, by the way. They have not adapted. This is the reason why when you look into research about meat in these, especially with the people who are whistleblowers who quit their company because they're tired of dealing with the underlying like lies that they have, these butchers and meat shops talk about how when they work for like big major corporations, these people who are in these factories, the company will tell them, cut out the cancer, the meat is okay. So you don't have to necessarily sit here and eat a terrible toxic animal because the meat that you have is grass-fed, etc., right? But they're still cutting cancer off of that. It still has a cancerous state, and it still had that toxin in it. Because if you don't know, cancer in an animal, not always, but a lot of times is caused by the stressors that they've dealt with throughout their life. They're in an environment that they're not naturally supposed to be living in. They're not fed the foods that they are naturally supposed to be eating, as well as the fact that they feed them soy, which we just talked about, all soy, majority of soy. I'm not going to say all, but over 95% of soy that we come in contact with in the U.S. alone is genetically modified. All corn is genetically modified. What do they love to feed animals? Soy and corn. The grass is treated, sprayed, all this other stuff. The distress doesn't even have to be on top of the slaughter that they have to go through. The distress starts from a very, very young age. So this is what I mean by the fact that like you can't sit here and just consume this meat because it's marketed as grass-fed or it's marketed as this free-range chicken eggs. Because they have an agenda against your health, as well as the fact that these systems that are in place that are supposed to be over our food to protect us allow loopholes for a reason, because they know these companies won't make money if they have to list any and everything. You have to stop putting yourself in this space of consuming endocrine disruptors or not even knowing what they are, knowing what you're putting inside of your body. Because like I said, these plastics, these pesticides, these artificial sweeteners, these dyes that they put inside of your meat, because people aren't even realizing they dye your meat, because meat cannot sit here and stay fresh for as long as it's in their factories, it's in these trucks, it's in the grocery store, and then it hits your home whenever. It's not going to be the same color during that whole process. So they have to do something to it. So that whole like no preservative added, no dye, color, whatever else, it should be a different color if they didn't add anything in it to make it that bright red, bright pink, bright white, whatever else. But they tell these people who work in their factories it's okay to cut the cancer out because they know they're going to color it. Because the cancer, I've looked at several TikTok videos. I don't know if they're still here because it was a while ago. Before I went plant-based, I was doing some heavy deep diving and research. The meat is like green and gray. The cancer itself is a multitude of different colors of what you can imagine. I'm not going to go into detail about that because it can get pretty gross. But the point is, they know it's okay to cut it out because you're not going to recognize what it looks like, because guess what? It's all going to be the same color. And so they can have a big chunk of cancer in it and cut it off and still serve that meat to you on the grocery store. A majority of them are. These big corporations especially, you can guarantee that they are. So how you start helping your body balance itself naturally and to support yourself is first start eating for your hormones. Start eating to support your womb. Start eating to support yourself as a woman. Understand, whole rich foods, fiber-filled foods are going to help you be able to keep your blood sugar stabilized because you need stabilizers, as well as going to help you be able to manage and support yourself when it comes to your digestion. So for women that struggle with, because I was once there too, before, during those beginning days of your menstrual cycle, that constipation that you have is because you're lacking the fiber that you needed before you started to go into that menstruating state. You also need to start eating anti-inflammatory foods. So you need to start supporting yourself with leafy greens, consuming more turmeric, getting omega-3s, making sure you're eating your vegetables and supporting your body with vegetables. These are going to help you, once again, also help you go to the bathroom. But they're also going to give you stabilizers that help you be able to feel full, to stay full, along with the fact that it's going to help you be able to get flushed. Because the greens are going to help you flush. That's what you need, flushing. Because a lot of women are not realizing this. Y'all aren't going to the bathroom enough. And I say that sparingly, but I mean it. Especially before your menstrual cycle and during. This is the reason why. And this is getting real personal and real honest. It's the reason why y'all feel like y'all are blowing up the toilet during your cycle. And you're like, goodness gracious. It's because you didn't go to the bathroom enough. If you're literally feeling like you're blowing up the toilet for hours, it's because you didn't go enough. And so now all that backup, because your menstrual cycle is the direct tie to your health, that is your time to let you know what you've been doing during the month has not been working, or yes, you've been doing good. It's because you weren't going to the bathroom enough. And so now all that backup has to go somewhere, because your reproductive system is working. Your digestive tract is like, oh, you know how your stomach flips during that time. So then it's also sitting there trying to manage all of what's going on in your reproductive. And so now your stomach is, and you're sitting there trying to figure out why it's hurting. It's because it's backed up. You also need to start eating foods that help heal your gut and to support your gut. So vegetables, fermented vegetables, you started getting and using probiotic rich foods. You supporting yourself with fruits to flush out and to reset that gut biome, because that's what you need. You have to reset. You need to start getting healthy proteins, healthy fats that don't come from meats. Healthy proteins and healthy fats can and do come from fruits. If you don't know what a healthy protein looks like inside of a fruit, you need to do more research into knowing what foods support you. Avocados are one good example. Some people love avocados. I love avocados. And some people don't like avocados. But do you know ways that you can make avocado and mask avocado in different dishes when it comes to sauces, soups, snacks, that you don't actually taste the avocado? Because avocado actually, honestly and truly, has no taste. And that's the reason why people don't like it, because they don't know how to season it correctly, or they don't know how to play around with it to make it something else. Because I literally have an avocado pudding that doesn't taste like avocados. And how I know it doesn't is because my nephew I have children in my life, okay? My nephew, he does not like avocados. He will tell you straight up, I don't like that. I don't like guac. I don't like those avocados. Those are nasty. He doesn't recognize it when it's in pudding because it doesn't taste like avocado. And so if you have a child at home specifically, especially, and you're trying to get them also onto a plant-based lifestyle to eat more fruits, eat more vegetables, you just need to learn how to make the dishes that don't make you tune into the fact that, oh my God, I'm eating vegetables ill. Because nobody wants to sit there and take a bite of a piece of celery from the ground. Nobody wants to sit here and pull a carrot out of the ground and eat it. So why are you not prepping fruits and vegetables in a way that you want to eat it? Nobody wants to sit there and eat those steamed peas with no seasoning on them. Nobody wants to eat those steamed carrots that haven't been sweetened a little bit. Why are you sitting here putting yourself in a state of being uncomfortable and hating this, hating the journey that you're on, not liking what you're eating, and then you're going to sit here and complain about it, and then you're going to go back to the old lifestyle? Why? I mean, you don't have to do that. I have been plant-based for over 4 years. You think I've been spending almost 4.5 years of my life and not eating food? You think I've been spending first of all, if you even think that, you must be new here. Go look on my page. Literally, when I'm eating good, I'm posting it. I don't post it all the time on my page, but I'm posting it on my story for sure. You need to follow me. You need to watch my stories because I'm posting my food. And I'm thinking about turning my Instagram into a food page. That's a whole nother thing I've been thinking about. But you have to support yourself, not only because you have cravings. We're people. We're going to have cravings. But you should know how to feed your craving without throwing off your complete balance completely. Thank you for the follows. So start supporting your liver function, for example, with things like beets. And they'll also start supporting your kidneys because it's going to help your blood, because anything that's red is helping your blood. Start eating dandelion greens. Start supporting yourself with bitter herbs. I know, first of all, let me say this and back it up. You should not be consuming or using any herbs if you're not eating correctly, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money, because the herbs are just going to be managing just like a prescription, okay? You should be supporting yourself with herbs, but first using food as your medicine, so then they can work together and then you're getting the maximum efficiency. Because too many people are out here saying, well, I tried this herb, I tried this supplement, and it's not working. And the reason why it's not working is because you're not using every aspect of healing. You're focused in on one thing, and that's not how this works. You don't have to eat dandelion by itself. If dandelion is bitter to you, why are you not adding it into a heavily sauced dish? Why are you not that's what I mean when I say that, like, people think, oh, I'm going to eat a salad, and then you eat the most basic bland salad. Oh, I'm going to eat this because I know it's good for me. And then you sit here and you take a bite of a carrot. Who wants to do that? Like, who wants to do that? Like, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? I like my dandelion greens. I'm not mad at it. I'm honestly and truly, I've never tasted the bitterness of a dandelion, but I'm also not just sitting there letting the dandelion be its natural self, if that makes sense. You have to start supporting the cravings in your body. You can't do one. Well, I mean, you can support your body and not support your cravings, but it's going to make you uncomfortable. You cannot just sit here and support your cravings and expect your body to be okay. So step 2, start balancing your blood sugar to balance your hormones. You have to start, first of all, understanding how to fast effectively and do it the right way. It's not extreme, but strategic. You cannot sit here and think that, oh, I haven't fasted ever in my life. I'm going to fast for 48 hours and I'm going to enjoy it. That's extreme. I wouldn't do that. If you intermittent fast, start working your way up to a 24-hour fast. Start understanding how to support yourself. So when you are in a fast and you're sitting there like, oh, I'm so hungry, have you drank water today? Start understanding how to eat your healthy proteins, eat your healthy fibers, eat your healthy fats in every single meal that you are consuming until it's second nature. This is how you start supporting your body. Start understanding that you have to stabilize your blood sugar, stabilize those insulin levels. Because if you're not stabilizing, then that means you're putting it in a chaotic state, an imbalanced state. And that's where we are right now with PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, cysts. Reduce and remove the terrible toxic refined sugars, these heavily processed sugars. Stop eating all of these terrible toxic carbs and start understanding that they are spiking your blood sugar and fueling inflammation. Start consuming healthy, natural sugars. Start consuming the healthy carbs, not the terrible toxic carbs. Because we're programmed now in our brains that all carbs are bad and we shouldn't be eating carbs. But that's not the truth. You just don't eat the right ones. And then when you eat carbs, you don't eat stabilizers with it. You add sugar. Because if you don't know this, carbs do the same thing that sugar does to your like body's cravings, your brain. And so when you eat an overload of carbs and then you sit here and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm really craving some sugar. It's not the fact that you're actually craving sugar. It's because the carbs have spiked your blood sugar. And so now your body is expelling too much insulin. And so then it's sitting here going, ooh, this is too much insulin for us to be releasing. We're not converting sugar into energy. We're using a whole lot of energy trying to fix this. Let's crave some more sugar so that she'll eat some more sugar. So then boom, she'll add more sugar in and hopefully she'll add the right kind of sugar. And then you don't, and then it just keeps going higher and higher, and then you have that big drop. And then you do things like you consume coffee, you sit here and you think that, oh, I need a nap. And these are not the key solutions to your problem. It's because you didn't have a stabilizer. And your body was needing something to stabilize. But since you have never given it stabilizers after you eat, or you don't even realize what stabilizers are, your brain only knows so much. It can only do what you know. And so you know, add in sugar because I'm craving sugar. You don't realize that, oh, I need a stabilizer after I eat these carbs. Or, oh, I need a stabilizer after I eat this healthy sugar. Because if I don't stabilize, I'm going to be craving more and I'm going to eat more. Fruits are one healthy sugar, yes, but there's natural sugar from many different sources. Agave, honey, cane sugar. Like, there's plenty of natural sugars. So you just have to start eating them and consuming them. And the only thing that's easily accessible, and you can't just get the honey that you get. You need natural, unfiltered, raw honey. Manuka honey. These things are good for you. Support the digestive tract. Support you. And honey is an microbial, antibacterial, so that's going to help your gut balance. That's all I'm going to say. I was going to say something else, but that's all I'm going to say. The Most High said hush. In the end, you have to start supporting your body overall. Support your womb. Detoxify your womb. Reset your womb. And how you do this is to flush. Natural hormone balances come from you detoxing the excess estrogen, the excess the excess estrogen, excess overload of sugar, excess inflammation. Supporting your liver and reducing that inflammation is gonna help your systems through this process of you gaining back that balance and that support for your health. So if you were sitting here and you're like, okay, well, what do I start and how do I start just eating away diabetes and supporting my body through this process? I have a system that is in place that can support you doing this and will also be able to help you get rid of this overloaded inflammation and these toxins inside of, outside of just regulating your blood sugar and supporting that, but really fully, completely rebalancing. When it comes to balancing your blood sugar, getting rid of inflammation, understanding what diet culture is doing to you, and plenty of bonuses in there, breaking down how to eat a rainbow plate so that you're not sitting here and thinking like, oh, I have to eat my vitamin C. Let me go in here and get an orange because I need this. But rather breaking down that, like, do you understand that a plethora of fruits and vegetables, if you eat like a fruit salad, for example, you eat a fruit salad, you probably gained all the nutrients that you need in that one meal. And you're sitting here thinking that fruits are not going to make me full. Fruits are not going to support my body. I can't do this without fruits. I mean, without anything else. Like, I can't do this with only fruits. You have to get away from this systematic slavery that we are in because you don't need another diet. You need to support your system and heal by getting to the root cause and start supporting new habits in your life and start by making small little changes first. So if you were sitting here and you're trying to reverse your insulin resistance, help metabolic dysfunction, help your hormone balance itself, then what you need to do is, first of all, realize you're not broken. Too many women are dealing with this for you to think that there's something wrong with your body when it's not. Your body naturally heals itself. You just need to support it in its healing. You do not need to sit here and take a medication to manage, but rather you need to start supporting your body and healing it. And how you do this is giving yourself the right tools. And so for you to start giving yourself the right tools, start researching, start educating yourself. And if you are in the space where you want a full blown out strategy, not blown out, full written out strategy so that you can sit there and change your life and do it in a simplified form that you don't have to struggle, you don't have to sit here and do a guessing game, you don't have to do those stumbling blocks, I can support you. I have an Eating Away Diabetes cookbook that is linked in my bio. That is everything that I listed. It's more than just a cookbook, but it's a cookbook because it gives you recipes. But in that, you're going to learn how to eat your rainbow plate. You're going to learn how to support your systems in your body completely and fully. Hold on, it's asking me to verify myself. Here we go. So, before I hop off, I will take any questions that you guys have in the chat. What questions do you guys have for me? Because it's your step-by-step guide into naturally reversing and healing yourself from insulin resistance and hormone imbalances. Because too many women are sitting out here dealing with these issues of hormone imbalances and dealing with leading themselves down the path of diabetes symptoms or having diabetes. And there's no reason for it. There's no reason at all. I'm glad to help. I really am. What questions do you guys have for me? And thank you guys for the likes. I really appreciate it. We can help ourselves heal as a woman outside of taking a medication or thinking that birth control is what we need to slap on top of it to help us, because it's not helping us. I took birth control for a year. It threw off my hormones worse. It made me feel worse. How often do you go live, or any classes you have? If I am hosting a masterclass, that master classes will be promoted in my lives and it will be linked in my bio. I go live every week. I'm not going to say a specific day because it's like it varies between Sundays and Mondays are my first day of starting the week of going live. Sometimes I go live double back to back. Fridays, I usually try to go live every Friday, sometimes Thursday. It just depends. I don't go live during the weekends though, so that's just, or Saturdays rather. So that's just a little tidbit. Saturday is my day off. How you know when I go live is you get on my email list, because I post every single time I go live. I send out a Wellness Wednesday email. Every single Wednesday, we have a wellness discussion of me going through what I've been researching, what's going on with the health industry, what's going on with food, etc., what is going on in our society just in general. So if you are looking for wellness tips, as well as know when I'm going live, that getting on my email list is your best bet, as well as when my YouTube videos premiere, so then you have more help if you have missed any past lives that you want to catch up on. I have playlists on YouTube, and all of my past lives are posted on YouTube, so you can go check those out. And this one will be posted as well. So go subscribe to my YouTube if you watch YouTube videos. That will support you. But far as classes and things, they are sporadic. More support on a day-to-day basis is I have ebooks. I have as well as I host one-on-ones, but I do have one-on-ones you can schedule and book with me. You can get tailorized strategies with the one-on-one if you let me know exactly, because I send out an email beforehand so we can have a discussion, so we have plenty of time to talk about what the issue is that you have going on in that moment, so I can tailor what you need, because I do have like a basic kind of thing of like, okay, we talk about what you need, go through a strategy, you get a replay of a starting to understand how to eat plant-based, and giving a foolproof foundation for you on that. And then I also right now have a bundle going on, so you can click the link in my bio and check that out for that bundle. And I also have a bundle if you get my Eating Away Diabetes cookbook. You do get right now a grocery list, a 7-day planner with that to help you be able to map out where you're going to start eating and how you're going to start planning and prepping your groceries for that Eating Away Diabetes cookbook. So all of my products and services, I'm pretty sure right now, have some type of freebie. I said that I was going to end it the end of last month, but I'm going to extend it until this month, because we're in the space of people are, I want to get right before the summer. And so all of my products and services are going to help you be able to lose weight, help you be able to heal, help you be able to support your body. It's just a matter of what in-depth information that you want. So like, for instance, my beginner guide, it's a beginner guide. It's going to help you be able, for the most basics, cook these meals, the things that help you be able to meal prep, be able to do things that are, quick, fast meals, be able to have support if you're like, I don't know what I want to eat and I'm trying to eat plant-based. Or if you are in a space of being plant-based and you're just like, you know what, I need inspiration. That's what that beginner guide is for. Next one is my Eating Away cookbook. Eating Away Diabetes cookbook is more detailed. It's more information. It's 99 pages, if not it's 100. And it's breaking down everything that you need for you to start eating yourself into health. The next thing up is my the cleansing code. That's the next thing up. The cleansing code is a full guide of you cleansing and detoxing. It's 7 books total, or seven books in a bundle. It's a full guide and completely detoxing and cleansing. So it goes through microplastic detoxing, it goes through anti-inflammatory, gut rebalancing, you're understanding how to use fruits and vegetables for fruits and vegetable fasting. It gives you a template guide. It gives you Oh, I missed something. I've skipped around in my brain. Gut, anti-inflammatory, template, fruits and vegetables, fasting. There's one more I'm missing. Did I say microplastics? If I didn't say microplastics, I don't remember. I don't know if I said microplastics, but I'm saying microplastics. And there's one more. I can't remember if I said it or not, but it's 7 books total in one bundle of one, and it's going to support you in fully detoxing. That's why it's called the Cleansing Code. It's breaking down how to cleanse, and that also goes through eating a rainbow plate in there and understanding each aspect of this is how you like magnesium, boom, 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 boom. Iron, boom, 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 boom. It breaks that down fully. And the next thing up after that is booking one-on-ones with me, and then I have a program. So it's like tiers, okay? I have tiers for you, for the most like beginner friendly all the way down to I'm ready for this. I want to be an expert and I want to understand how I can be an expert. The tiers are here to support you. You can get everything with Klarna Firm and Afterpay. That program, I am going to be revamping that program, but it's going to be the same kind of basis for the revamp. I'm just going to change around, restyle it. You know, we're in a new year. I want to make it a new kind of like inspirational thing for myself because I like to make things cute. But the program basis is going to be the same. I'm going to try to revamp it to make it 6 weeks instead of 12 so that it can be a quicker transformation for people, because at the end of the day, it can be quicker. It's going to be more intense, but it can be quicker. I'm going to give the option between 6 and 12, but I feel like more people are going to lean towards a 6. And that's a full transformation of how you live a plant-based lifestyle. So it's going to be based off of first learning how to make your own plant-based meals, understanding how to cook those, and then it's going to give you that not anti-inflammatory. It's going to help you be able to make your own natural medicine, make your own non-toxic products, be able to give you sustainable habits, going through your pantry, giving you a refrigerator audit, and then in between each milestone, which is like about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to have meetings. If it's a group setting, we're going to have meetings in the group. If it's a one-on-one individually, we'll have a one-on-one setting, meeting. Goodness, I can't get the word out. Meeting. As well as during that time, we have workshops for you to be able to make those non-toxic products. So you have that information and you have that video research so you can go back when you need that information. And then also during that time of those workshops, we'll make your own non-toxic medicines and etc., because you won't be sick often, but the times that if you do come in contact or if you have children or somebody gets sick, you are able to help yourself back into health without having to take chemicals, without having to rely on these different chemicals, and understanding how instead of them helping your body be able to naturally detox and to support itself and get rid of the illnesses, a lot of times they're helping you be able to feed it, and then all it does is just thrive in that space. So that's the reason why we have flu season. That's the reason why we sit here and don't realize that like you're not supposed to suppress a fever, but rather you're supposed to help it do naturally what it does so that your body can naturally detoxify itself through a fever. And so if you were looking for this information and you're looking for that support and you're looking for that one step-by-step guide and strategy that I support and that has supported me and I support others with, that has truly transformed, the link is in my bio. If you book a one-on-one and you're like, you know what, I do want to get in the program, that price difference will be knocked off, but it's only for the 30 days from the time that we have that one-on-one to the 30 days after that. That's how long it lasts. After that, you'll have to pay the full price. You can get it with Klarna Firm or Afterpay. What other questions do you guys have for me before I hop off? I'm going to eat some food because I'm not too hungry. Honestly, I drank my water and I'm good. I was thinking about if I was going to fast or not, but like, I feel like if I try to like fast, it's going to hit me with like that hunger. Like I've been fasting today. All I've been drinking is water. I ain't been to fast every single day. But I don't know if I'm going to like fast today. I might try to do that after I come back from the grocery store so I can have some more fruits and vegetables for myself. No questions? No more questions? Did I answer everything? I mean, I'm happy that I answered everything, but if you have any questions that you don't want to ask on live or in front of people, you can always DM me. Or if I get off live and you're like, no what, I need to ask her something, I will happily answer your questions. Feel free, shoot me a DM. Don't feel uncomfortable. But if you are watching this later on YouTube, don't forget, drop your comments in the questions. Drop your questions in the comments. I said that backwards. I answered my comments. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Go follow me on my socials. They're linked in my bio. Go check out my link tree. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to hop off. We will be back I'm going to try to be back. If not tomorrow, I'm going to try to be back Wednesday because I don't know if Friday's live is going to go for me or not. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live on Friday. So we'll be back. If you're on my email list, you'll know when I go live. I catch you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be safe.